Okay guys, for this lab we're doing this week, maximizing the results of a chemical reaction, you're going to need a few household supplies, and I want you to try this at home. So go ahead and try to find these around your house or pick them up. Number one, you're going to need some vinegar. Vinegar is clear, it has a really sour smell to it. You can usually find it in a glass bottle or jar. I buy mine in a really big jug, that's why I can't show it to you. You're going to need an empty paper or plastic cup. The stuff we're working with won't leave behind any nasty residue. It all washes clean with water. So if you want to use something reusable like plastic or even glass, that's okay. Just make sure that you can watch into the cup to see what's going on here. You also are going to need some baking soda, right? That's our other reactant besides the vinegar. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. It's helpful to have a measuring cup or two that you can use to measure the amount of baking soda and vinegar that you're using. And lastly, our secret ingredient is dish soap. What dish soap is going to do here is allow the bubbles that are made by the reaction of baking soda and vinegar, the bubbles that are full of carbon dioxide gas, it's going to allow them to hang around a little while so we can measure how much gas is produced. All right, so let me show you a quick example of what we're talking about here. You want to make sure that you measure everything as precisely as you can so that you can duplicate it when you come to class. So I added a squirt of dishwashing liquid right there. Now I'm going to add to that a spoonful of baking soda. This is a half tablespoon measure. So I'm just going to fill that up all the way there. So that's a half tablespoon of baking soda. All right. And then I'm going to try and measure as precisely as I can the amount of vinegar that I add. When I do that, immediately we're going to see bubbles coming up, right? I want you to think about ways that you could measure how much bubbling happens. Okay, we want to be able to compare from experiment to experiment how much bubbling happens. And remember that your goal is to get the maximum amount of bubbles, especially with a given amount of baking soda or vinegar. Because during our challenge in class, I will very likely limit the amount of baking soda and or vinegar that you have. So I want you to think about how will I get the most bubbles possible. Okay? That's your challenge. Good luck.